Now, designer. So let me go through the ranges. And I'm gonna go with Addicts first. So I'll be quick, I don't wanna ramble too much. I love Dior Addict, it's definitely collection worthy. It's a beautiful white floral vanilla. Very strong, quite powdery, quite sweet but not too sweet, quite animalic. I love it. I really, really love it. You definitely get this jasmine in here. Very, very potent but sweet jasmine. So Dior Addict, I have the latest version. I couldn't get my hands on the previous ones, unfortunately, which I know some of you do own, which is jealousy, hashtag jealousy. But yeah, this one is still very good and very long lasting. I wouldn't go for Eau de Toilette. I feel like nobody likes this fragrance because it's really not good. It's really not good. It's like a boring white flower blend with no soul. You know, so don't go for the Eau de Toilette. If you want something nice and refreshing for summer, I already mentioned go for Eau Fraiche. The Eau Fraiche Dior Addict actually also kind of reminds me of Rouge Trafalgar, which I might get my hands on the Eau Fraiche version as well, because it's very nice for summer, very refreshing, and it's still Dior, you know. You cannot go wrong with it. So that's Dior Addict range. It was short and sweet, but you know, I've had so many reviews on this fragrance. There is no use for me to repeat myself. Okay, now we have the Poison range. So here I'm gonna spend a little bit more time on. And I'm gonna start with, of course, the original Poison. Which is still in production, people still buy it. To me it's way too much. I'm not the biggest fan, I'll be honest. Even though it's a classic, it's definitely not for me. But this one here is definitely me. And this is Hypnotic Poison Eau de Toilette. So we have Eau de Toilette and we have Eau de Parfum as well, and some few other variations on it. This one is of course the original classic that everyone loves. It has a little bit of that Play-Doh smell that people say it has, but mainly it is a beautiful tonka almond vanilla fragrance. So I really, really love it for that. It is so cozy and sexy at the same time. Very good lasting power. So basically the Eau de Parfum, which supposedly should be a little bit more potent and a little bit more pungent, is actually a little bit more mainstream, surprisingly. So if you are not the fan and cannot handle the Eau de Toilette, try out the Eau de Parfum range, because they are quite different, and this one is definitely more like original, in your face, everybody knows what you're wearing. The Eau de Parfum, it's still beautiful, I really, really love it, and I will surely get a bottle of it as well, but it's definitely more bearable, so to speak, you know. So these two are the bomb. Okay, now Pure Poison. So this to me is like a white flower queen, and even though I do not really reach for it that much, I'll be honest, as well as this is not my type of fragrance entirely, because I'm more into gourmands, and even if I go for flowers, I usually go for something rosy and a little bit more fruity, you know. So this one is definitely not my typical fragrance to go, but I feel like it's super collection worthy. It's a classic. It's a gorgeous, clean but very, very sexy white floral. As I compared it once on my channel, it's like a nun wearing stockings, you know what I mean? It seems fresh and clean in the very beginning, but then it's not. It's quite animalic. It's quite dirty, even, at least on my skin, even though I take shower all the time. Bad joke. But yeah, I really, really love it. This is your typical clean white floral, but with a massive, massive edge to it. It's quite oriental. As I said, it's quite animalic as it dries down, so I would highly recommend trying it. Love it. very good. And the lasting power on this one is not as great as Hypnotic Poison. I would say it's around 6 to 7 hours. So it's still decent, but not enormous, you know? Alright, next what do we have here? Of course, the Poison Girl range. And you already know, it's my favorite. I love Poison Girl. This was my signature scent for so long. And this is a naughty sister of Hypnotic Poison, I feel like. As much as this is quite grown up, it's very sweet and very thick and dense. This one is not as dense, but is definitely more oriental, which not many people say. But this is definitely more oriental. This is a lot of rose put in here. It still has those nice almonds and a lot of tonka and vanilla in here, so you still get that base, but with a very oriental and yet very sweet twist. That's how I would describe it. So I love this fragrance. So many of you ask me, should I get the EDT? Should I get the Unexpected? Should I get the EDP? Guys, just get the EDP. This is the original. This is the most long lasting out of all of them. Of course, the EDT will be fresher and it has a lot more blood orange to it. This one, I feel like it's still the best out of them three. So yeah, the EDP is the way to go in my opinion when it comes to Poison Girl, I'll be honest. I love it. On me, it really lasts well. I never had problems with it lasting. Good projection. I always get complimented when I wear this, and men love it. Love it just as much they love Hypnotic Poison. So I love Poison Girl. Just love it. Okay, what else do we have here? Oh, now I want to talk about some man perfumes that are my absolute favorites. And they're not only favorites because I love them on my men, I love them on myself. I love wearing them. To me, they're absolutely unisex. This is just the bomb. And this is none other than Dior. And this is the original one. And the EDT that was released years and years ago. And to me, it's still the best classic. It's powdery. Actually, guys, there is a night bomb flying around in this room where I'm recording, and I'm so anxious that it's gonna fly my way. But it's set down, so let's keep recording. Okay, it's quite powdery. It has iris. It has some violet. Beautiful fragrance. It kind of has that lipsticky scent to it, if you know what I mean. But if you're a guy, don't be anxious. It's still beautiful on the man. It's definitely not a feminine fragrance or anything. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, so it's still a very man-appropriate fragrance. It has leather to it. Even though I don't love leather in fragrances, this one is blended to perfection. It also has amber. It has cacao. Beautiful fragrance. And if you still can, please try to get your hands on the 2011 version. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 2011. Don't get the 2020 because they destroyed the fragrance. Trust me. Everything that was good about this juice, they removed. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I feel like this is still in stock on so many websites. So try to find this one. I'll also link it down below for you. So this is the Dior original. I love it. It has sage as well and some bergamot in the very beginning. But yeah, overall it's a nice powdery fragrance with a lovely edge. It's quite sweet but still very sexy and sensual. Anyone can wear it in my opinion. If you're a woman, if you're a man, I just love it. And speaking of the whole range, to be honest, I love the whole range. Maybe except from the newest release in 2020, which they just crashed it, okay? But this one has a brother, which is the intense version, which is even more pungent and more sweet and more beautiful and more unisex. I just love it. The intense version is just so good. Le Parfum version, some people say it's just perfection. Some people say it's a little bit too much. In my opinion, it's a little bit too much. Like, stick with the intense. The intense one is just perfect, you know? It's the perfect balance between this and something more. You know what I mean? So yeah, Also, I absolutely love the sport version, the one with like a red trim around the bottle. Love that one. I love it on myself. I just adore it. I just adore it. And I share it with my boyfriend. So yeah, the Dior Homme range is absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. So if you're in doubt what to get for your boyfriend or for your girlfriend, it's just so good. Alright, now what else did I want to talk about? Maybe my top 3 of the designer range. But before I do that, I need to talk about another range of fragrances, which has been my favorite for years. For years, since I was a little girl, and this is of course Miss Dior range. I know there's a lot of disapproval when it comes to that range, and I am the one included who is not very happy with what they're doing. The last perfume from Miss Dior range that was absolutely fantastic was from 2012, if I'm not mistaken. I still have it, unfortunately not in South Africa, but I probably you probably remember I was showing it many times. So that was the last one that I really love. I don't really love Absolutely Blooming and anything after that. So yeah, I'll be honest. If you want to get yourself a good Miss Dior perfume, you will have to look on Amazon, because now I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest. It's too mainstream, it's too watered down. There is that new one, Rose and Roses, which completely didn't blow me away. I mean, it is nice. It's more of a, I don't want to say it's pungent because it's not, but it's a little bit more interesting than your typical rose, but still, this is not what we really look for, you know what I mean? And of course, Miss Dior Cherie, you know, it's discontinued, so all I'm gonna say here is that I have a perfect dupe for you, and this is none other than Montal Rose Elixir. This is exactly the same as Miss Dior Cherie, or at least super similar, and it's way more potent than Miss Dior Cherie used to be. So that's the only good thing about that. Basically these are my favorite Dior ranges, and I don't really want to talk about more of them because we would spend an hour here or even 2. And also I really want you to get the best of the best, and these are really the best in my opinion. You know, I don't really love J'adore and any other ranges. Dior Sauvage for men is also not my absolute favorite, I'll be honest. If you are to get a men's fragrance from Dior, go with Private Blend, with those unisex ones, or get yourself Dior Homme. It's way better choice, it's way more interesting, and you'll be way more appreciated by people who actually know a few things about perfumes, you know? So my top 3 out of the designer range from Dior, it will be definitely the Hypnotic Poison, Poison Girl, and I think I will go with Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense. It doesn't really matter. I love them both. It's very hard for me to choose. So yeah, Dior Homme range, perfection. So I really hope you guys liked it. It's kind of a rambly video, you know. I'm just trying to share my knowledge with you and my opinions. I really hope that it kind of helped you in some way. So please let me know if you would like to have more those brand overviews on my channel. I've already done Montal and Mascara. Now we have Dior. Maybe you will have something else in mind. So please let me know. I'll be happy to film it for you. And once again, guys, thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!